waited 25 years to say what I'm about to say. I'm driving a Beetle, baby! Yes! Woohoo! Dude, I'm in heaven. I am actually in heaven right now. Yes! See, I know what you're sitting there thinking. You're thinking, the man's lost it. He drove a Nissan GTR last year, a Bentley Continental, an Audi TT-RS. Are you seriously telling me a Volkswagen Beetle is better than that? Well, there's a reason I'm so excited. The first Beetle came into the world in 1938. And yet here we are, 80 years later, and we've still got the Beetle. It's here, in a new form, okay, but it's still here. It is genuinely the oldest car of its type, still being sold in the car market in the modern era. And that, to me, speaks volumes. See, the Type 1, the first one, that was commissioned by Adolf Hitler and designed by Dr. Ferdinand Porsche, sold 21.5 million of them all over the world from 1938 to 2003. That is very nearly 65 years of constant production, Second World War accepted. So let me give you a brief history lesson. Adolf Hitler asked Dr. Ferdinand Porsche to design him a small, cheap, affordable car for the people of Germany. A Volkswagen, people's car. Although in those days it was known as the KDF Wagen, the strength through joy car. Basically, the German public was supposed to buy this by collecting stamps with their groceries, a bit like you used to do with your TV license. And when you filled up your card, you could trade it in for a brand new Beetle. Genius, absolutely genius idea. Possibly the only good idea Adolf Hitler ever had. Unfortunately, he kind of marched into Poland before anyone got hold of a car. But then after the war, a group of British servicemen led by Major Hurst decided to resurrect the cars so they could get around Germany. And that's why I like to think of the Beetle as very much one of Britain's silent success stories. Okay, Adolf Hitler thought of it, but we popularised it. And now we have this, the Beetle A5, and this particular version is just about the best a Beetle has ever been. But here's the mad thing, I've driven Passats, I've driven Scirocco's, I've driven Boras, I've driven Golfs. This doesn't feel like any of those. This does feel like a Beetle. How have they done that? And it's rather fitting that I finally get my first drive in a Beetle in the 80th year of the Beetle, and ironically, the 50th year of the Love Bug. Oh, 2017's a good year to be a Beetle lover. There's only one problem. I now want one. More than I want oxygen. I want one so much. This thing is just fantastic. See, this is the 1.4 litre Sport TFSi version of the A5 Beetle. 158 brake horsepower. That's 3 times the power of the original. The old car was only meant to do a maximum of 62 miles an hour so that they couldn't speed. This does 129 miles an hour. So again, double the speed. But let's not forget, that Beetle from the 60s was a 1.3 litre engine. This is a 1.4. And yet it's got 3 times the power and twice the speed. That's how far we've come in 50 years. Wow! Plus, the modern Beetle owner doesn't have to worry about a dodgy radio or feeling cold. With this, you've got a sat-nav so you won't get lost, cruise control so you won't speed or get tired on the motorway. You've got Bluetooth, trip computer, anti-lock brakes, traction control! Traction control? In a Beetle? What is it, Christmas? And just for a cherry on the cake, you've got alloy wheels and that cheeky little rear spoiler. This thing is just so much fun. But it is genuinely a Beetle. It's 2017, and yet Volkswagen have captured the essence of the car from the 60s. That is mental. Okay, I am now legitimately coming up with ways of convincing my wife that this should be her first car. It's got to be one of these, darling. It's got to be one of these. They're brilliant. They're amazing. And they're very safe too, actually. The NCAP safety rating for this, 92% for adults, 90% for children. So again, the Beetle is one of the safest cars out there. It always was. Even in the 50s and 60s and 70s, crash testing and safety was something they always prided themselves on. Now it's even better than that. I don't use the word genius very often. This is genius. This is actually genius. And clearly this is an idea that Volkswagen are able to run with, because there are already some special editions of the new Beetle A5. There's the Black Turbo Edition, the Turbo Black Edition, the Fender Edition. In Mexico, they're selling an Xbox Edition. In Spain, they're selling a 53 Edition, which is white with Herbie stripes on it. There's a GSR Limited Edition, a June Edition, and get this, they're currently developing an R-Line edition of this. An R-Line edition of this! It can't get any better! But they want to make it go faster! But being Volkswagen, this is also incredibly economic, just like the original Beetle. This power 3 times the original, twice the speed, and yet this still does a combined fuel economy of 42.8 miles to the gallon. And this is a sport version of a pimply little coupe. Oh, Volkswagen, I am so in love with you all. You've just created another masterpiece, very much in the DNA of the original. I love this car. I love it. I really, really love it. I want a Beetle, I want a Beetle, I want a Beetle, and I want it now.